you ever been told you need to create psychological safety on your team, but you're worried that means lowering the bar? Or maybe you've tried being more supportive and suddenly performance slipped. A lot of leaders feel stuck here. They think they have to choose to be liked or be respected, but that's actually a false choice. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create real psychological safety without becoming a soft leader. You'll see how a principle called yes and allows you to increase safety and standards at the same time, and why most leaders get this balance completely wrong. Welcome back to The Confident Communicator. I'm Zach Basner from the Question First Group. Today we're breaking down one of the biggest misunderstandings in leadership: psychological safety. So let's start with the problem. What most leaders think psychological safety means: avoiding tension, being overly agreeable, never pushing hard, softening feedback. But when leaders operate this way, something very predictable happens. Standards get blurry, accountability drops, and high performers start to get frustrated. Here's the real misunderstanding. Safety does not mean comfort. Psychological safety means people can tell the truth without fear. And that starts with your energy in hard moments. So let's walk through how to actually do this. Step one, understand what psychological safety really is. Psychological safety is the confidence that I can speak honestly without being punished or dismissed. So why does that matter? Because teams hide problems when leaders flinch. Innovation disappears when people are afraid of embarrassment. But many leaders react emotionally to bad news, or they get defensive when challenged, or they shut down ideas without realizing it. Instead, the first skill to master is controlling your reaction. This is where yes and leadership begins. Step two, yes and means acknowledge and then elevate. So yes and, you may have heard of that term before. It's a common phrase in the improv world. When improv actors are working through a scene, they might take things from the audience, or as they're building though, no matter what happens, they're gonna use yes and, which means they're gonna use it to advance the scene, advance the scenario. In our context, yes and means acknowledge and then elevate. So first, you acknowledge what someone says, and then you guide the conversation forward while still holding the standard. That's the balance. So people feel heard, but direction doesn't get lost. Most leaders accidentally fall into one of two extremes. They're either way too hard or they're way too soft. So for example, imagine someone on your team says, "Man, we totally missed the deadline on this." The hard response sounds something like, "That's not acceptable." So energy drops instantly. The soft response sounds like this: "It's okay, these things happen." And now the standards drop instantly. But a yes and response sounds like this: "Okay, we missed the deadline, and we need to understand why so it doesn't happen again. So walk me through what happened." That's safety and accountability working together. Step three, eliminate the flinch. The flinch is the micro reaction leaders have when something goes wrong. Your team reads your face, your tone, your body language almost instantly. And when they see frustration, defensiveness, or irritation, they learn something very quickly. They learn to hide problems. Many leaders sigh, they interrupt, or they react emotionally. Instead, practice a neutral posture, calm tone, curious follow-up. Yes and energy communicates this: we can handle this and we're gonna solve it. Step four, raise standards inside safety. So after you acknowledge reality, you elevate expectations. Because psychological safety without standards just creates mediocrity. But standards without safety create fear. So many leaders either stop at empathy or they skip empathy entirely. But the goal is both. So for example, if a team member says, "Man, I'm just overwhelmed," a yes and response sounds like this: "All right, I hear you, you're overwhelmed. And we still need to deliver at a high level. So let's talk about prioritizing what matters most and clarify what support you really need." So you validate reality without lowering the bar. So before we wrap up, let's look at a few mistakes to avoid. Number one, thinking safety means agreement. Yes and doesn't mean affirmation and agreement. It just means we are receiving and then guiding. Number two, confusing kindness with clarity. Again, we don't want to overload the empathy. We want to maintain a standard and both be moving forward clearly on what the future looks like. Number three, avoiding tension. Tension's not a bad thing. In fact, oftentimes in the most tense conversations, we have the biggest breakthroughs. Number four, letting standards slide in the name of morale. Again, kindness is not as important as clarity. In fact, they're gonna feel cared for once they have clarity. And finally, believing fear creates performance. If you think that by bossing people around or coming down hard on them when they make a mistake or have a failure, if you think that's gonna create better performance, you are sorely mistaken. Remember this, high-performing teams feel safe to fail, but they do not feel safe to avoid responsibility. So if you wanna create real psychological safety, remember these 4 things. Number 1, control your reaction. Acknowledge before correcting. Use yes and to move the conversation forward. Finally, maintain clear standards. Safety and standards are not opposites, they are partners. And that's yes and leadership. If this was helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more practical leadership communication strategies. And if you want to master the 4 pillars of breakthrough leadership communication, download our free mini book in the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.